Hi. Good morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday, or what I like to say when I'm trying to spell it, it's Wednesday. Am I the only one who does that? Spell it in order to spell Wednesday? Be like Wednesday. Okay, maybe I'm the only one who can't spell. Whatever, I don't care. Um, but yeah, so today is Wednesday, and we are still in our series for overcoming setbacks. And so I want to welcome you to Morning Motivation, where we are empowering women to get up not because they have to, but because they want to. I want to tell you that you are awesome. You are amazing. You are going to you are doing great things, whether you see it or not. You are doing great things. I know for some people, simply waking up and taking a shower and brushing your teeth was a huge move for you today. And I want to applaud you. If nobody else notices, I know that it was a huge step for you to do that. I want to applaud the woman who decided to make a big leap to speak up for herself today and it is planning on speaking up for themselves today. I want to applaud you. This is Morning Motivation. My name is Alicia Richardson. And today, again, we are talking about overcoming setbacks. And so, this week, we've talked about the blame game, how we blame other people for the setbacks, or we might blame someone or something else for the setbacks. And we talked about how we're going to reshape that and begin to look in ourselves on what happened with that setback and begin to, move forward from there and, look at forgiveness, maybe, I don't know. And then we also talked about removing the blinders. Sometimes we want to save face and prove to ourselves or prove to others that we are to be successful and that setback or we did setback didn't phase us at all. And so we're so busy putting on for other people that we forget that we're living a life for an audience of one in order to impact many. And right, so we flip that because before we were living for an audience of many trying to impact God, right? But we're not doing that. We switched it around. And so today we're going to be talking about making the trade. Now, as we get into it, this title is going to make more sense of making the trade. And here is why. Because when we experience setbacks, like I said, we talked about how it can make us feel angry and we begin to blame people and things like that. So making the trade, whenever we experience a setback, oftentimes we experience as if it were a loss, right? And we don't want to feel that loss. We don't want to feel the fact that we put so much time and energy into something or someone, right? We don't want to acknowledge this setback. We don't want to do that. So what do? We start throwing things in there, trying to make this work. Like, no, this setback is not happening. We're going to make this work. I don't care. I don't care what nobody say. This is going to happen. And so when we do that, we tend to move into the avenue of one, devaluing ourselves. Let me just talk about me, for instance, in a talk about me for this when I say devalue. And so when I say that, stepping out as an entrepreneur, whenever you put something new out there, a lot of people don't necessarily know who you are. You have to begin to build your brand awareness. I'm a brand strategist. I'll tell you about that. But you have to begin to build that brand awareness. And so when you begin to build your brand awareness, people are still like, hey, I don't know what you're doing. I need to get used to you. And so because people were not biting, because an instant, I'm expecting an instant just result, like, oh, she's doing this. Let me jump on that. Oh, can I get a logo? Can I get this? Can I do that? And so because people were not doing that, what did I do? I devalued myself by lowering my prices, offering something free, doing this, doing that. And so devaluing yourself could mean something different for you. It simply means you decided to settle in order to try to get somewhere or push through a door. I don't like when people say knock a door down. I don't like that. Listen, your path is already walked out for you. It really is. I talked about that last week on how your life has already been put together by God. And all you, when you come to earth, you're simply walking the path that He gave you to walk. Right. And we make our own decisions, which is why we experience setbacks and things like that. So we begin to devalue ourselves, or we begin to settle in order to try to make something happen or get someone to like us, or not be alone. I know that's huge for a lot of people. Like, sometimes we just don't want to be by ourselves, and so we settle for a man that means nothing to us, or they treat us bad or something. Like this can go in so many avenues, right? And so that's the first thing. The second thing is we begin to move away from our purpose. We begin to move away from our focus because we're still trying to make fetch happen. I don't know if anybody saw Mean Girls. She said, stop trying to make fetch happen. But anyway, we're so busy trying to make things happen in our own might and in our own power. We begin to, or it forces us, when we try to do things on our own without God, it forces us to move away from our purpose, because now we're no longer in line with what God is trying to tell us to do, because we're trying to make things happen on our own. This is what I want to happen, and this is how I want to make it happen. And so again, we begin to move away from our purpose or our focus, and we lose the actual result that we're trying to get, right? And so we're going after something else and getting our own selfish needs met, I would say. So instead of trying to make an impact, you might be going after the money. You know what I mean? So something like that. Or instead of trying to make an impact or simply add on to what you already have, you're trying to get a man that does nothing for your value. So, and third, we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves. When we are going after and trying to make things happen, we lose pieces of who we are, who we truly are, because we're just simply trying not to experience the loss. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I cannot tell you how many times I've done that. And eventually I ended up just so broken, trying to get somewhere or create something that was not meant to be created, right? Am I the only one? Please put in the chat. If I'm not alone, please put in the chat, you're not alone, right? And so, what I want you to begin to think. So what we talked about, we talked about making the trade. I told you I was going to make it make sense. Making the trade. We're trying, instead of taking the loss or whatever you want to call it, because I want to get you to shift from thinking that it's a loss to that it's an opportunity to grow and mature. It's an opportunity to hear God's voice or begin to understand what God's voice sounds like to you. You take it as a loss and you shut down and you put a wall up or a blocker up so that you cannot begin to accept the growth that comes from whatever that setback is. Setback is not always bad. Sometimes it's just a warning not to go down that path, right? And so because of that, when we make that trade, we begin to devalue ourselves. We begin to move away from our purpose, and we begin to lose ourselves. Okay, and so here's what I want you to do this today. I want you to do this today. Write down, where are you today because of the setback? Acknowledge it. Where are you today because of this setback? Okay. Where would you like to be despite the setback? Okay, so Where are you? Where are you now because of the setback? And listen, you may have multiple setbacks. You may have because if you're going down a road that ain't for you, you're going to have multiple setbacks, right? So when you try to make it happen, it's multiple. But multiple setbacks. Where are you now? All right. And the next thing is, where would you like to be? Where would you like to be? Let's get where are maybe I should have asked, where are you supposed to be? Where are you supposed to be? Where would you like to be / where are you supposed to be? Where do you feel you're supposed to be? All right. And then I want you to be brave here in this next question or next thing I'm going to ask you to do, this next request. Because these are only requests because I can't tell you what to do with your life. You have to make these decisions to move forward and grow, right? So I want you to be brave, to begin to ask God, show me the way. Show me where one should be, okay? Show me how to get there. That's what I want you to do. And begin to put that plan, write that plan down, the plan he gives you. I want you to write that down. All right. All right. So that's what I have for you today. Again, if you love what you heard, if you have set a goal at the beginning of the year, but you just could not reach that goal for whatever reason, if you are a multitasker and you are trying to juggle all of your roles and juggle all of your goals and trying to get in a destination, but it seems like there's so much on your plate, you're busy for nothing, nothing is getting completed, like you're doing everything, but nothing is getting completed. I want you to sign up and register for my Do You in 2022. Do You is an acronym that stands for desire change. You're getting a little bit of that here. I want desire change. Open your mind, know your why for your goals, and organize your ideas, thoughts, and goals, and then begin to understand that you need a plan to reach it. And I have it all for you inside of your inside of your Do You. I have it all I don't know what I was getting ready to say there, but anyway, register Do You in 2022. You have to. If you cannot seem to get it together, it is here for you. This is what it looks like. You can scan this here, and it takes you right there to the registration page. My name is Alicia Richardson. I am your brand strategist and business coach. And my goal here is simply to get you to shift and begin to get you to see things differently and begin to get in alignment with where you're trying to go. All right, that is all the time I have for you today. Be blessed. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging in there with me, and I'll see you tomorrow.